Yo, I feel like I'm on an episode of MTV Cribs, but in all reality, this would be the part of the semester where we'd like go around the weight room and I'd show you, hey, this is what a cable fly machine is and all of that. And while we're gonna show some videos and all those pieces of equipment so that you're familiar with them when gyms actually do get to open up and you can go check them out, I wanna take a moment now to show you some of those creative ways with very little equipment that you can substitute for some of those more popular commercial gym equipment. One of the first things that you could go ahead and purchase, right, that don't cost a ton of money would be these bands, okay? And they come in all different sizes, and the thinnest ones, right, very thin, they can stretch really easily, and these are great for things like curls, some flies, exercises that you may not need a ton of resistance for. And then we go all the way up to reds, blues. I've got some really thick ones over there that you guys can use to do different exercises, to include assisted pull-ups, dips, push-ups, things that maybe you need a little bit more resistance for. So this is the first one. I'm gonna check out a couple exercises you can do with just some bands. All right, so we checked out a fly cable machine or cable machine. And you're thinking, how can you do this at home? Well, if you've got something, all right, I've got a pull-up structure, but if you've got something, think of even a basketball net, you can get some of these bands, and all you're gonna do is you're gonna tie them around, and we can simulate those cable machines. So I take one on one pole, make a slip knot, all right, put one on another pole, make another slip knot, and now you can do those cable flies that we just checked out in the video. Okay, if you want to lower them, you can do the ones coming up from the top. If you want to raise them, you can do ones coming from over the top. You could do all of your bicep stuff just like this. If you wanted to get really fancy, you could go ahead and pick up, these are fat grips. They go on like a barbell or a dumbbell to make the Challenger grip to build your forearms. They can also just be a handle. So they've got a little slit in them. You can slide them onto the band, and now you've got a handle for them. Again, really nice, affordable way to get creative at home. So what about tricep press downs? Everybody likes to get that arm pump, or anything really. You could do these with lat pull downs, whatever it may be. You can suspend one of these, same slip knot, from something up high. Could be anything from a tree to a basketball hoop, whatever it may be, something that's solid. And you can go ahead and just hold on to it and get your tricep press downs. Or you could go get a wood dowel. I think I picked this up at Home Depot for like 30 cents. Slip it through, and now you've got tricep press downs all day. To make it harder, you can add more resistance by looping it through both parts of the band, or you could just add bands on top of it. Really, it's all about your creativity. This could be used, I could sit down on the ground with a longer dowel, and I could do lat pull downs, both in front and behind the neck. Low cable type of equipment, same thing. Go ahead. I like to put a little board that I found, some plywood, so that I've got something to lean against. I can slip my cable through. Now I can do low cable rows, both pronated and supinated. If I wanted to do single arm, I could just hold right here. You can get really creative. You could probably even do some leg presses if you were sitting on a skateboard and you just held on and you did it like that. You can also challenge your grip. This is something that some of the strongmen do, which we're going to talk about later, where this wood dowel is trying to be pulled out of my hand, and I lean all the way back and I curl it like that towards myself. Probably one of the biggest questions that I would get when we would start doing workouts with clients is, I want to be able to do a pull-up, but I'm not strong enough. What can I do? These rubber bands really work well for that. So you're going to go ahead, hook one up onto the pull-up bar, and then you're going to just step inside of it. And now this pull-up or this band assists you on your pull-up, effectively just pulling you up to the top. And depending on what thickness of band you have, depends on how much assistance it gives you. Obviously, a really thin one is not going to pull you up very much, and a really thick one would give you a lot of support. And then some of you are wondering, Some people even asked in class the other day, well, what if I can't even do a single push-up? These bands can actually help you as well. Using the same kind of thing where I'm gonna anchor it somewhere up high, I'm now gonna get into my push-up position, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put this band right around my waist. And what this does is it helps me pull some of the body weight off. So I can go ahead and perform full range push-ups. Now, what's nice about this is it gives you something to progress with, right? So I may have to start off with a really thick band, and as I continue to do more and more reps, more and more sets, I work my way down, excuse me, to thinner and thinner bands until I'm able to do them without any bands at all. What about leg curls, leg extensions, okay? I'm gonna take those same bands, I'm gonna anchor it under something heavy. In this case, it's underneath of my assault bike, and I'm gonna place a bench a bit of ways away. I'm gonna wrap it around my ankles, and now I've got a hamstring leg curl machine. If I wanted to, I could just flip this all around to where I was sitting on this side, run the band underneath, attach it to my legs, and I could do leg extensions. So these bands can also be used for lower body as well. So there's all kinds of different ways that you can use the band, and this is by far not a complete comprehensive list. The more and more creative you get, the more and more exercises will come to you. I've hooked them underneath of stuff to do curls, done band pull aparts. I've hooked them underneath of my elbows when I bench press, when I've run out of weight while I was still building, my garage gym out. It's really up to you to just get creative and use, some of that engineering brain, if you will, to go look at something online and kind of figure out, what do I have to do? What would I have to attach this to in order to use this band? Kind of like a cable machine. Beyond that, there's a lot of other things that are really cheap and really effective as well at building strength that you can use. Sand is one of them. You can go get 50 pounds of sand, play sand from Home Depot for, I think it's like $5. You can fill it in an old backpack. They make specialty sandbags. I have one right here. But really all you gotta do is go get a bunch of sand, get some 3 mil trash bags, duct tape it all up, and you're good to go. What's nice about the 3 mil duct tape bags is you can go buy that 50-pound bag of sand and then individually weigh them out into smaller bags of sand. So I like the 3 mil garbage bags you can get at Home Depot. They're like construction ones, they're really thick. That way they won't break. And what I did was I got a bunch of these these 3 mil bags, placed them on a scale and weighed out my 50-pound bag in 10-pound increments. That way, I don't have to just have one 50-pound thing. If I want to go for, a hike up some hills, I can put 20 pounds in, 2 bags. If I need to do deadlifts with it, I can put all 5 bags in there. If it's something that I'm picking up over my head and throwing, maybe I want 30 pounds. So getting a big bag of sand, 1 box of 3 mil, roll of duct tape, you can make a whole bunch of different implements. Now, certain companies like Rogue Fitness, they make these types of sandbags. They've got all these different handles on them so that you can go ahead and do cleans, presses, you can throw them, you can drag them, you can do whatever you want with them. They're a little bit more expensive, but we're on a budget here. So you can literally go to Goodwill, probably find some sort of gym bag, some sort of backpack for probably almost close to nothing. You can go to Home Depot, get a 50-pound, maybe get 2 50-pound bags of sand if you're pretty jacked, duct tape and 3 mil trash bags, and you can make an assortment of different things that you can pick up, deadlift, press, throw, toss, all of these things for relatively pretty cheap. Here's another thing that's basically free. Not really, but kind of. Come here. Right? Do you have a pet? So this is Lazar. He's that little puppy that I was holding. We've only had him for like a month or so, and he's already probably 30, 35 pounds. We can do all kinds of things with him. And then he loves it as well because he gets to hang out and give dad kisses, right? We can do squats with him. I can press him over my head, right? I could just pick him up off the ground a few times. There's all kinds of things that you can do with the dog. My pug is probably not heavy enough for me, but for some people it might be. Lico, come here. Right? This little dude, he's like 18 pounds. Look at him. All right, so stuff I could do with him probably. I could probably single arm press him. All right, you just gotta be creative. They make Ruffit carriers, so we've got a backpack for him that he can sit in the backpack, and I can just go walk up and down flights of stairs. It's pretty hot here in Sacramento. He needs to get inside, get some water. Here's another thing that you can do. You can go sneak up on your brother, sister, mom or dad, wife, whatever, for a surprise workout. Hey, Brett, I need you.
Oh boy.
Come here. Hop on my back.
Oh God.
Come
I'm
on.
gonna hit my head on the fan.
That'll be great.
Okay.
Right? So if you need to load a little bit more than what a dog, you've got family members, you can do all sorts of things. We've got good mornings, we've got squats,
Oh God.
right? It's just being creative with it all. Thank you.
No problem.
Right, so it's all about being creative. Another one that I just thought of that's pretty easy. While you're at Home Depot, pick up another bag of sand, go somewhere, find an old basketball. There's some plans out there where you can cut a small hole in a basketball, peel it back, take the bladder out, fill it with sand, use some rubber cement, cement it all up, then use some duct tape and wrap that hole up. And now you've got a slam ball if you don't fill it all the way up, or you've got a medicine ball. You can do medicine side ball tosses, you can do wall balls. Really, honestly, there's so much stuff out there. There's even, and I'll try and find the link, there's even a post by Kabuki Fitness where they went to a metal scrap yard and they got just a piece of metal pipe that was the same diameter as weightlifting plates, and they were able to bench with that. They got some clamps that they tightened down and put some lock seal on, and they made like an axle bar, which is like mainly in powerlifting or strongman, and they were benching with it, they were curling with it, they were squatting with it. So we've really got to get creative. Fill up water jugs. PVC pipes are really, really cheap. There's some really great things for what's called a slosh pipe. You can fill up a PVC pipe with water, put the caps on there. We're talking you could get a really good functional home gym for pretty cheap. In fact, maybe we should break it down. All right, so let's tally this up. I just did a real quick search. You guys could probably find even better deals on things like Facebook Marketplace, or even just like searching around a little bit more. I did this super last minute, very quick. Resistance bands into Amazon. We've got them here for $30. You get a set of 4, right? So you've got really light resistance for smaller muscle groups. Think biceps, triceps, stuff like that. You could even do shoulders with them. You could do pull aparts, chest flies, all of that. You've got 2, it looks like medium-sized bands. So if you're a little bit stronger or you want to do like deadlifts, good mornings, pull-ups, push-ups, assists, dips, assists, things like that. And then a really thick band, probably for bigger stuff like banded shrugs, banded deadlifts, those low bar rows, even maybe lat pull downs for some of you guys out there that are a little bit stronger. For $30, I mean, I just showed you how many exercises you can do with a set of bands. Let's go over to Sakrete Play Sand, right? $5.85 for 50 pounds of sand. So if you want to really get after it for $10, you've got 100 pounds of sand. And like I said, you go pick up some of these 3 mil. These are what they're called, contractor bags. All right, these are a little bit expensive. There's a set of 42 gallon. I don't know how many come in this one, but it's $12. So it's like 65 cents a bag. You can convince your dad or your uncle or something like, hey, yeah, you can use these too. Like, I just only need like 4 or 5 of them. You could break up that 10 pounds or that 50 pounds, 100 pounds into multiple bags, and now you've got multiple weights that you can throw in different bags to get your workout in. I was talking about a PVC pipe filled with water. This is what it looks like, how to build a slosh pipe. So this dude went out and he got a 10-foot piece of PVC pipe that's 4 inches in diameter. He filled it up 2/3 of the way, put some caps on the end, and now that thing gives him incredible stabilization. If you've ever tried to walk with one of these, it's incredibly difficult. That water's moving the whole time, and the more it moves, the more, the faster it moves, and it's more and more muscular contraction that you need to do to try and balance it out. Look this bad boy up. $13 at Lowe's. All right. You can store that outside on the side of the house. It doesn't even need to come inside. Water caps. That's it. If you've got a place in a garage or something, there's plenty of plans out there where you can build a pull-up bar, or I've even seen people build push-up bars. I've got a set of bars out of PVC pipe that are even cheaper than this. But for a pull-up bar, you can go get a 5-foot long pipe for $18, and then you get some of these flanges to screw it onto your studs, and you get a couple of these, I don't know if they're here, but you get a couple of those elbow joints. There you go. Some of these elbow joints goes into the wall, elbow joint out, boom, you're done. You could probably have a full pull-up bar set up for less than $30. So if you did $30 pull-up bar, $15 slosh pipe, we're now at $45. Got to buy trash bags. That's a bummer, right? But we're at like 50. We'll call it $60. We'll call it $70 for sand, and then, oh no, everything. There's a sneak peek of my lesson plan for tomorrow. You get a set of these pull-up bands for $30. You're at $100, and then if you wanted to just add something kind of nice for some handles, or you can put fat grips on your pull-up bar, we're talking $130, and you've got enough equipment, really, honestly, to get in really good shape. These fat grips will be with you for life. I've had mine for like 20 years. Not really, probably like 10. But for a long time, you just add them onto barbells, onto dumbbells. They're really small, like you saw in my video. You can throw them in your bag, and now you can bring them to the gym. You can get that fat grip stuff for really big forearms, like Over the Top, Sylvester Stallone. Really a lot of options out there. And like I said, scour Facebook message place. Go to your parents' garage, your grandparents, your uncles, aunts, whoever it may be. Go to a garage and say, hey, you got some thick trash bags? Dig a hole, fill it up with dirt, find some rocks. You guys get creative out there. There's more than enough out there for you guys to get a good workout in.